Hello there, Atheist Junior here, your friend and humble narrator, and today I'm recording the Patreon exclusive video for the month. It's going to be a little chill, laid-back video, not super serial, just me reacting to an older Hovind video that I've been wanting to tackle for a while, uh, because it's about a topic that's near and dear to my heart. If you'll notice the background behind me, it's video game controllers. I've played video games since I was about 5 years old when I got a Super Nintendo and Super Mario World. Um, and Kent is just ragging on video games and gamers in this video, saying a bunch of stuff that's not true. And I just want to debunk the stuff he's saying. So it's going to be a fun little video. Hope you guys enjoy it. This video is for the true Atheist Junior fans only. So I'm now up to 20 patrons, 21 actually. I had 7 people sign up, 7 new people sign up in the month of November, and I'm now at $100 a month from you lot. So it's triple digits now. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the content. So I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into this video.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Parents, it's your job to train your children.
Yeah, train up a child. That translates to beat your child.
In the way they should go. What do you want them to be thinking about? What do kids today spend a lot of time doing and thinking about? Violent video games? Grand Theft Auto? You mean who can steal the most cars? Do you want
Grand Theft Hovind? Who can steal the most tax money from the government? Hovind?
your kids thinking about who can steal the most cars? Wake up, parents. Think about what you're putting in that kid's mind.
Okay. Grand Theft Auto is rated M for mature. The kid in that photo looked pretty young. Parents can look at the ESRB rating on a video game box. It's there for a reason, Kent. So if you don't want your kid, if you don't want your 9-year-old kid playing Grand Theft Auto, don't buy them the game. You know what I mean? Get on their Xbox and lock out games that are above a T rating. You know? Don't turn off, don't let them have the option to download mature games on their console. Just don't let them play the game. If you don't want them to play it, be a good parent and stop them from playing it. Although my parents let me play Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was a kid, and I mean, I turned out fine. Hovind.
Violence, death, evil, cults. The video games are full of this stuff. So are the TV, so are the movies. So the DVDs, the internet is...
The DVDs? Like my set of DVDs? 18 hours, $50 for the whole thing? Hovind, what about those DVDs? Hovind?
really full of this stuff. What are you letting your kid put in their mind? An overwhelming number of American children between the ages of 2 and 17 are playing video games. A new study released today, according to the research, 91% of kids between 2 and 17, or 64 million people, are playing video games. That's up 9% from 2009. What are they thinking about? What is this encouraging them to think about all day? I won. I killed all those other guys. Back up, get out of the game for a minute if you can get it out of your head, and think about the bigger picture. What on earth are you teaching them to think about? Stealing things, killing people, victory, overcoming, banging people down?
Banging people down? There are video games that aren't violent, right? Like, have you ever played Mario? I mean, I guess jumping on Goombas is kind of violent, but again, if you don't want your kid to play violent video games, don't get them violent video games. And there are plenty of games that are wholesome. There are games that are educational. There's even a game for the Xbox, the original Xbox, called the Bible game. That's a Bible trivia game. And speaking of the Bible, The Bible is incredibly violent. I mean, if the problem is kids talking about, thinking about violence, earlier in this video, I didn't show it, but Kent says, oh, just memorize Bible verses. Just keep the Bible in your heart. Okay, well, the Bible is extremely violent. So if you memorize Bible verses, chances are you're going to be thinking about violent scenes from the Bible. I mean, I can't think of any video game where almost every single human being and animal on Earth dies in a flood and drowns. Because that happens in the first chapter of the Bible. God kills everybody on Earth except for Noah and some of the animals.
Come on. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little ears, little eyes, what you see. For the Father up above is looking down in love. I was going to play that song, but you can Google it. It's a good song. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. For the Father up above is looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see.
For the Hovind up above is looking down in love. So be careful, little eyes, what you see. Hovind!
Good children's song you can teach your kids. Okay. How many hours a day does the average child play video games? Remember I said sacred cows? Actually, going to be two of them.
Christianity is the ultimate sacred cow.
On average, children play video games for 2.13 hours a day. 92% of parents let their children play at least an hour of games each day. 8% admitted they left their kids play more than 5 hours.
Okay, an hour a day or 2 hours? That doesn't sound that bad. Now, I mean, 5 hours, sure, but again, if you don't want your kid playing video games for 5 hours a day, be a parent and don't let them. You can go in the settings of the console and make it so there's a time limit on how long the system can be on each day. Or just tell them to turn it off. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the kids just play video games however much they want and there's no limit on it. Like, be a parent and let them play if they've finished their homework, they've, I don't know, ate all their vegetables, they're doing good in school. It's the weekend, they have friends over. Let them play some video games, man. If they're doing what they're supposed to, if they did their chores or whatever, fine. I don't see a problem with it. Now, if they're slacking behind in school because they're staying up all night playing Minecraft and their grades are falling behind, or they're not getting enough sleep, so they're hard to wake up in the morning. They're not having enough social activity with their other students and peers, or the amount of video games they're playing is having a negative effect on what they should be doing, then you might have to take the console away, or say, if you can improve your grades, then I'll let you play video games or let you play longer each day. But in my opinion, as long as the kid is doing what they're supposed to, they're making good grades, the fucking room is clean, they ate their Brussels sprouts, dude, go nuts. Play as much as you want. Go play Mario Kart for 5 hours on Saturday night with your friends. That's what I did, and again, I turned out fine.
A day. What are you putting in your eyes? What are you putting in your mind? How many people veg out all day, or hours a day, playing video games? I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm asking.
Yes, you are. You're clearly saying that it's bad. How can you even say that? You're such a liar, Kent. Wow, look at this dude's ponytail. See, see this image here. This is not okay. All right, that's not okay.
Asking you to consider what are you putting in your mind, and what are you letting your kids put in their mind? Is this things that are true, honest, just, pure, lovely?
Uh, I don't know. How can a video game be true or pure or honest or lovely? I mean, I played Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, and that had some lovely jiggle physics in the game. So, I mean, does that count?
If there be any virtue, if there be any praise. How many
Arr,
gamers are there in 2017?
gamers.
67% of Americans, 211 million people, play video games at least on one type of device. More than half of these who playing on multiple platforms. I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what multiple platforms means? Are you serious? Does he think multiple platforms is the new video game system? Like, no, it just means they play video games on their phone and they also play them on their computer or their Xbox. Like, okay, whatever.
I don't think I've ever played a video game since Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's why you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Kent. I mean, it obviously shows. So, you haven't played a video game since the 70s. And the last game you played was Pac-Man. It's a great game. Classic arcade game. Classic Namco arcade. You know, you got Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Miss Pac-Man. She was hot. Yeah, Miss Pac-Man. What were we talking about?
When was that? 25 years ago? The Bible says the desire accomplished is sweet to the soul. You know, some people don't have a sweetness in their soul because they don't accomplish anything. What do you accomplish in a video game?
Well, Kent, I'm so glad you asked. First of all, there's no such thing as a soul. But why do you need to accomplish something? Video games are a form of entertainment. What do you accomplish when you watch a movie? Well, or when you read a book? Well, maybe you experienced a really good story or a narrative. Well, you can do that if you play a game like Metal Gear Solid. It's one of my favorite video game series, and I think they have a great storyline. It's really convoluted and confusing, but I think it's a great storyline, great characters. There are people who play video games professionally, esports, and they accomplish a whole lot. They win trophies and tournaments and win huge prizes, like huge cash prizes for winning, like Dota, League of Legends, all that stuff. So that's an accomplishment because they've made a career out of playing video games. I mean, you can't deny the fact that they're winning a tournament and getting a big cash prize, and a lot of times sponsorships from companies like Intel or Razer or Corsair, these different PC or gaming companies. So they'll sponsor them with jerseys, computer parts that can be really expensive, and you can't deny if they're winning tournaments and they're winning huge prizes like $25,000, stuff like that. That's an accomplishment. You also have speedrunners. I love watching speedrunners. Specifically, my favorite speedrunner is a guy named Cosmic, and he speedruns Super Mario Brothers, the original NES game. He has the world record for it. And he does speed runs of lots of different Mario games. The funny thing is, Cosmic, I've watched a lot of his videos, and I noticed that Cosmic never swears in his videos because, everyone knows that it's real easy to get frustrated when you're playing a video game. But every time he would die, he would say, "Oh gosh, dang it." And I was thinking, he has to be religious, right? He has to be. And then I found out he randomly mentioned in a video one time that he, you know, was doing speed runs for like 3 years, getting world records, and then he quit for a full year because he left to go do a religious mission in a different country, and then came back. I just think that's kind of crazy. So I think he's a Mormon. I'm pretty sure if he did a religious mission, then that's Mormon. But Cosmic is awesome. So speedrunners can accomplish something like getting a world record. They entertain their viewers, like I'm doing right now. They get paid from Twitch monetization or being on YouTube monetization, having supporters on Patreon or whatever, getting people in the chat watching. When people get a world record, the chat will go nuts. So just by entertaining their viewers, they've accomplished something. Like I'm accomplishing that right now. I'm doing a great job. So even playing Mario Kart with a couple of your friends on a Friday night, you accomplish the fact that you had lots of fun. That's a good thing. It's a form of entertainment. I don't Hovind, sorry. I don't understand why you have to accomplish something.
When you're all done, what did you accomplish? I like building something. You stand back and look at it and say, well, man, I built that thing. I fixed that, whatever, you know. What
Okay, if you build a birdhouse and I open up Minecraft and I build a birdhouse in Minecraft, who's to say that your physical birdhouse has any more intrinsic value than my digital one? I mean, can you prove that? I mean, sure, yours actually is tangible and you could have a bird in there, but you could also build things in Minecraft that you could never build in real life, like castles and skyscrapers.
have you accomplished? The reason some people don't have sweetness in their soul, they're not accomplishing anything with their life. I mean, accomplishing. Winning a video game is not accomplishing anything.
Why not? Like, says who? You? Why not? I think it is. Fuck you, Kent.
How much violence is there in these video games anyway?
How much violence is there in the Bible?
Do you want your head filled with this stuff?
Okay, Fortnite is hardly a violent game. I mean, look at these characters. It's not a shooter like, I don't know, Rainbow Six, or it's not a game like Mortal Kombat where you have gallons of blood flying out every 5 seconds. It's a very cartoony game. It's not a violent game.
I don't even know what Fortnite is, but it looks to me like people are trying to get up there to get saved when he's cutting their hands off so they fall back down.
So you don't know what Fortnite is, and yet you're ignorantly talking about it as if you do and saying how it's bad and it's violent, even though it's hardly a violent game because it has a cartoony art style. And you're saying that these people are trying to climb up to get saved and they're getting their hands cut off? That has nothing to do with Fortnite. I mean, Kent, if you were gonna pick an example like this, why would you not pick Doom? I mean, that is the classic example to point to, is Doom. I mean, come on, Kent. That was a layup.
Do you want your head full of that stuff? 10 reasons why video games should be banned for children under the age of 12.
Oh, wow. Yeah, banning video games. Okay. You know where they have video games banned, Kent? North Korea. Do you think that's a good thing?
Number one, physical impairments. They sit around all day and they get fat. Get out and do something, okay?
Wow. Well, you're pretty fucking fat yourself, Kent, because you're always talking about eating ice cream and getting Chinese food. But first of all, there are video games like Wii Fit and other games on the Wii that encourage you to play while standing up. Wii Fit comes with a balance board where it weighs you and it encourages you to lose weight because it lets you keep track of your weight and your body fat percentage. And with the Nintendo Wii, the system is designed so that you play games like Wii Sports standing up and you're not just sitting down and being sedentary. But still, even if you are just sitting down and vegging out when you play games, everything in moderation. It's like I said earlier in the video. I'm gonna assume Kent is talking about kids. Okay, well he said these are his reasons that video games should be banned, not that kids should play less of them. They should be banned. Ki- Kids should not be able to play a single video game until they turn 13 years old, according to Kent, because of these reasons. Keep that in mind. Not a single video game, not even one round of Pac-Man, according to Kent. Video games, you're a parent. If your kid is spending too much time playing video games and eating Doritos and Mountain Dew, be a parent and turn the fucking system off and say, you can't play that much. You need to go outside and exercise and play with your friends and be active. Be a fucking good parent, and this won't happen.
You overweight, obese, well, shut the TV off and the video games off. Like, duh, it's a no-brainer. You might have a real healthy thumb. Oh, look at that thumb, man. Okay.
Go fuck yourself, Kent, you fucking boomer piece of shit. You know what? I have a real healthy middle finger, Kent, you fucking dickweed. God, you piss me off, Kent. And video games do increase your motor skills and your hand-eye coordination. So fuck you, Kent. God damn it, you piss me off. Okay, brain damage? Brain damage. Are you fucking kidding me? So do you have a source for this at all, Kent? Brain damage from frontal lobe. Frontal lobe? Did you mean frontal lobe? Pruning? Attention deficit? Yeah, you can't catch ADHD from playing video games. That's not how that works. Impulsivity, learning disorders. No.
Brain damage. It's called frontal lobe pruning, attention deficit, impulsivity, learning disorders. This is what this article said video games causes.
Oh, well, video games, if an article on the internet says it, it says that video games cause brain damage, then it must be true, right? Hey, an article on the internet that someone wrote, who can't spell, it says that video games cause brain damage, so we should ban video games for children under 12 years old. When they're 13, then they can get brain damage from video games. Then it's okay, but not when they're under the age of 13. That's the cutoff point. Got it. You know, Ken, there are a lot of articles on the internet that say that evolution is true. Are those articles true?
Sleep deprivation. You know, the Bible says the sleep of a laboring man is sweet.
Again, I'm not going to say this is a fair point, I would say. There's certainly been nights where I've stayed up late playing video games. But again, we're talking about children under 12. Be a parent. Put timers on the system. Turn the system off. Tell them they can't play the games all night, or take the system away if you have to.
If you actually work hard all day, you sleep like a rock. How many have ever done that before? The sleep, but kid
What, slept?
plays video games all day, he can't sleep very well. He doesn't accomplish anything. Aggression, violent. Do you think there's aggression in the video games?
There has been no actual study that has ever proven that video games cause aggression. If anything, video games allow you to take out aggression in a safer way. Because, you know, if you have frustration, it could be satisfying to play a video game and take out that frustration on digital people instead of real people. So if anything, it makes people less violent.
Mental illness.
Okay, video games cause mental illness, addiction, depression, anxiety, suicide risk. Okay, so there is absolutely a case to be made that video games can cause addiction. I would agree 100% with that. It definitely can happen. There have been stories of people in Korea playing World of Warcraft in cyber cafes, and they drop dead because they're just playing and they're not eating. You know, it does happen. Depression, sure. Anxiety, suicide risk from video games. I mean, that seems like a stretch. I mean, I think there would have to be extenuating circumstances. I don't think that any video game could cause a suicide risk unless you play Pokemon and you go to Lavender Town. I heard a rumor that the music from that game can make you kill yourself. I don't know if that's true though. Although I read it in an article on the internet.
Poor academic performance. The kids
Again, this is a possibility, but just be a fucking good parent and tell them get fucking good grades and I'll let you play video games.
are losing out in school. Poor social relationships.
Okay, that said that you get autism from playing video games, that's fucking bullshit, Kent. You're a fucking lying piece of shit. Go to jail, you fucking abusive dickhead.
They are unemployable.
Bullshit. People who play... why? Why are they unemployable? Because they're 12 years old?
I ask kids all the time when they come here to visit, can I help at Dinosaur Adventure Island? I say, what are you good at? Video games? We don't need that around here. Can you mow the grass? No, I never did that. Okay. How many people are unemployable? Jeff, how many people have you had work with you building stuff?
Oh, hundreds.
Hundreds.
At this point.
And many are, you got to wonder, where were you growing up, kid? Didn't you learn nothing? Let me explain it to you. This is a nail. The pointed end goes down, okay? You hit the flat end. I mean, you got to start from zero, don't you? It's like, where have you been all your life, son?
And the fact that you would actually talk to a young child that way, in that condescending, mean-spirited, patronizing, disgusting tone, just shows what a fucking piece of shit bad person you are, Kent. It's unbelievable to me that you would actually talk to somebody else's kid like that. I'll tell you one thing, Kent. I don't have any children, thank fucking God. But if I had a kid, if I had an 11-year-old kid, and I heard you condescending to them in that fashion, even if they did not know how to use a fucking hammer or how to mow the lawn, I would fuck you up, Kent. Ooh, he makes me mad.
They're game transferable phenomena. It's called game transfer phenomena.
Shut the fuck up, Kent. I have the pause button, dickhead.
No.
Shut up.
We've all seen
Shut up.
children
Shut up. I have the pause button. Shut up. Okay. Game transfer phenomenon. Okay. This part is so stupid.
acting like characters recently viewed in cartoons, movies, or video games. So if they want to put their underwear on the outside of their pants, they think they're Superman now. Okay.
The current DC Superman does not have the underwear on the outside of the costume as part of his current costume. They eliminated the underwear. So again, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Kent. You boomer piece of shit. Get a fucking clue, you dickhead.
While
Shut the fuck up. I have the pause button.
these actions should be considered normal, could be considered normal and part of pretend play in early years, what is abnormal is when the child disassociates and becomes non-responsive to interactions with parents. They've played games so much, Mama says, "Good morning, son."
Yeah, that's literally never happened. If that happened, then you have some serious problem that you need to take your child to a psychiatrist or a doctor for immediately. A video game cannot cause that. Unless your child is epileptic and the flashing lights in a video game cause them to disassociate. But again, they've tried to remove any type of flashing light like that from modern games for that reason. But again, if you're a parent and you have a child who's epileptic, you should obviously be very careful about what type of games you let them play, because there are games that wouldn't have strobing lights, and then you have games like rhythm games. Like there's a game on PS2 called Rez, music games, where you would potentially have flashing lights like that, and you could have a risk of that. But again, be a parent, and just monitor what media your kid is able to consume. But I've never heard of a kid playing a video game and then later the next morning they go down to breakfast and the mom says, "Oh, how are you doing, son?" And they go, "Hovind, Hovind, Hovind." That might have happened after a kid watches a Kent Hovind DVD. They become non-responsive.
Porn, sexual perversions. How
Um,
much of that is found in video games?
None, because the ESRB rating system goes from E to mature. If you put pornography in your video game, you're going to get a rating of adults only. And no store like GameStop or Walmart or Amazon will sell your video game. It is the death sentence for a video game to have an adults only rating. Now, you have some games, rarely like Manhunt, that got an AO rating, I think maybe in Australia, or it had that rating and they changed the game. Rockstar did to get it down to an M rating. I'm not sure. But that was an example of violence, not pornography. One example was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was rated mature, but when they found that through modding the game, you could unlock the hot coffee scene, which was technically pornographic. It was really just blocky polygonal models humping with their clothes on, but it was considered pornographic. They changed the rating of the game to AO until Rockstar released an updated version with hot coffee removed. But like I said, you're not going to have pornography in your game because you won't be able to sell it. Now, there are very specialized games where you could have that type of content, but it's not something where you could go to GameStop or when Blockbuster was around where a kid could go to Blockbuster and just rent a game that had actual pornography in it. Do you have scantily clad characters? Sure, that's a part of video game tradition. That's just a thing. Is it pornographic? I don't think so. But again, if you don't want your kid to see it, don't let him rent a mature game.
These days. Perverse disputings of men with corrupt minds. We've talked about that in 1 Timothy chapter 6. In Genesis chapter 2.
Was that before or after God killed every single person on earth except for 8 of them?
The Lord God said, "It's not good that the man should be alone."
Well, he wouldn't be alone if God didn't kill everyone. Oh, you God.
We got to find all you guys a wife, okay? That's not
Kent, you're so fucking weird, you fucking old, dirty, disgusting pervert.
good, and it's not.
Kent, you probably have smegma on your penis, you fucking gross old man.
It's not good for the man to be alone. First thing God said to Adam, be fruitful, multiply.
I apologize for saying that. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize for that mental image. Not to you, Kent. Fuck you. But I apologize to my viewers, especially Stacy C. if you're watching. I apologize for mentioning Kent's penis.
And go fill the earth. He's told that to the animals. All you animals. After he made the animals, he said this right here, verse 22, be fruitful and multiply. The first command
That means fuck.
was go make more babies. And that's probably the greatest drive of every male of every species.
Okay, first of all, every species does not have a male. Like, when it comes to bacteria, I don't think there's a male or female bacterium. And not every male is heterosexual and wants to have sex or make babies with a female. There are people who exist that are homosexual or asexual and are sex repulsed. They're not interested in sex. So it's not true what you're saying, Kent, but of course you have an extremely narrow heteronormative position because your perspective has no depth, as Aaron Ross says.
to accomplish that goal. God gave that drive, okay? It's an inborn demand. That's why they fight with each other. Who gets the herd? You just Google it. Male animals fighting. They want the herd, okay? God said to Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply. So this
be fruitful and fuck a lot.
is perfectly normal and natural to want to have sex and make babies.
Don't say that, Kent. Gross. You disgusting old wrinkly fucking gross pervert. Go to jail, you fucking gross old man.
That's what God said to do. But he gave some commands about that. Thou shalt not commit adultery, and don't covet your neighbor's wife.
Or don't covet your neighbor's wife, or your other neighbor's wife, or your other neighbor's wife. Don't have 4 wives, only have 1 wife, not 4. Hovind.
Get 1 and be happy.
Get 4 and be happy.
Jesus said, you heard it was commanded.
Hovind said, I'm like Jesus. Jesus, Hovind, same thing. Hovind, Christ. Kent, Christ. Hovind, Christ.
Don't commit adultery, but I say unto you, whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery already in his heart.
Whosoever look at a video game, Dead or Alive beach volleyball, extreme beach volleyball, has already committed adultery with her in his pants. Hovind.
I've never met a man who did not understand the importance of how women dress. And I've never met a woman who does understand.
What the fuck?
Girls, trust me, it's important how you dress. You say, yeah, but it gets their attention. They look at me. Yeah, you are correct, you moron. Okay.
Wow. I can't. I don't even have anything to say.
Question. Do you think the video games are...
Hey, Mass Effect. That's cool. I'm sorry, does Commander Shepard there, is she being sexualized? Are the women in this, is this pornographic? Like, most of them are wearing clothes that completely cover their entire figure. So, does Commander Shepard have a pure heart? Absolutely. Yes. I suppose if you play as a renegade instead of a paragon, maybe not. But yes, in my game, female Shepard absolutely had a pure heart.
Promoting and encouraging a pure heart by the way the characters are dressed? Look at
Nice.
the female characters.
Hell yeah. Dude, Quiet. She is so hot. It's a great game. I love Metal Gear. Quiet was so freaking hot.
The way they're dressed. Is that promoting a pure heart?
What do you mean by pure heart? What does that mean?
Paul said, Proverbs 5, drink water out of your own cistern and running waters out of your own well. He's telling his sons, book of Proverbs, get your wife, stay happy with 1 wife. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the street. Let them be thine own, only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. You can be happy with 1. This is Proverbs chapter 5. Now in 1 Corinthians, Paul said, now concerning the things that you wrote to me about, it's good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and every woman have her own husband.
Sorry if I look tired. I just, I'm filming this in the morning, and I take my medicine in the morning, and it makes me really drowsy sometimes.
I'm trying to fix you guys up, okay? We'll run a couple ads every night till we find somebody. What else do we need besides a truck driver?
A fucking clue?
If you can, well, never mind. Okay. Jesus' disciples were married, at least a couple of them, we know. Matthew chapter 8. And when Jesus was coming to Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of the fever. And the popes say their priests should not marry, and they say Peter was the first pope.
What?
Peter
what does
was
that have to do
married.
with the Pope?
Now, it is true, it never mentions Peter's wife. It does mention his wife's mother. My preacher said a man would be a fool to have a mother-in-law without having a wife.
Haha, I fucking hate women. Over.
Be an absolute fool, okay? I think we can deduce from that Peter was married, okay?
Hovind was married 4 times because he body slammed Cindy into the ground. Hovind.
So, what about these video games? Which country ranks #1 in video games?
Yeah, Kent, you want to talk about being violent? How about the violence you did to Cindy? Fucking asshole. You're violent, Kent. You body slam people to the ground when you get angry. You threatened me, Kent. You've threatened me multiple times. You don't play video games, and yet you're violent, Kent. You fucking prick. Right here.
America.
America.
I think it's part of a bigger plan.
I think it's part of a bigger Hovind.
We'll cover that on video number 5 of my series. The way to dumb down a country to be able to take them over for socialism, communism. Karl Marx.
If you want to dumb down a country, you show them my DVD number 5. That'll make them fucking stupid like me. I'm fucking dumb.
Rules for revolution. We'll cover that on video 5, the one the government hates me teaching on. Okay.
Oh man, they hate me teaching on it so much. That's why I can sell it, and they do nothing to stop me.
Aggression or violence? Is there aggression in the video games or sports?
Some of them.
For 2 Corinthians, let Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You know how Satan is getting into Christians, getting into
I didn't know Satan knew how to program video games.
churches, getting into families. Don't
Getting into Hovind.
be ignorant of his devices. This is how he does it. What are you and your children filling your eyes and your mind with?
Visine?
Will it help you have a pure heart? Will watching people shoot each other give you a pure heart? And a
What is a pure heart? You haven't defined that. And what does paintball have to do with anything?
clean mind? Will watching sports and people beating each other up, will that
Kent, you literally played tennis in high school.
give you a pure heart and a clean, does that help you grow? All the violence, I played tennis all through high school, and I was number 3 man, and I'm probably still play pretty good. I'm not against sports necessarily, but I want you to think about, does too much of this, or does the wrong kind, create violence and the wrong thinking in your heart? Let all bitterness and wrath, and anger, and clamor,
And Hovind.
and evil speaking, and all malice, and be ye kind one to another. Be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. And be ye kind one to another. What on earth are we filling our heads with, folks?
So you think sports are bad, Kent. So earlier you were complaining that when kids play video games, they sit around and they get fat. They get fat and gross like me, Hovind. And yet you're now complaining that sports are bad. Because they're violent too. They're also violent, even though the Bible is violent. So what, you don't want them to play sports and exercise instead of playing video games? Even though video games make them fat like you can't? Make up your fucking mind, dickhead.
Stop and think. It's time to reanalyze. Would you like to face that every morning when you
Kent, you fucking played tennis in high school. And that's obviously an action shot while she's in the middle of a match. So she wouldn't look like that in the morning. Dickhead. Sexist. I fucking hate women. Hovind.
Proverbs 31 woman, gentle, kind, sweet, kick your teeth out.
Body slam your teeth out, Hovind.
What are you and your children filling your heads and hearts with, and your eyes? Will it help give you a pure heart? All the blood and guts and death and fighting and... Now, I'm in favor of self-defense. Gee whiz, I'm not against that, but come on. I think we've gone nuts, folks. I think we've been infiltrated by the enemy. What are you filling your head and your heart with? Is it going to help give you a pure heart, pure mind? Is it all violence, competition, gotta win, gotta beat the other guy? Is that what we're filling it? Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, lovely, good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. There's not going to be a quiz at the end of this one from me. There will be from God, a quiz. Are you thinking on these things? Or are you thinking on other things? Think about what you think about all day long. What are you meditating on? God saw in Genesis chapter 6, before the flood came, the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil. Brother, a whole lot of Christians fit into this category right now. They spend hours thinking about things that are evil. They're filling their eyes, filling their mind, filling their heart. God's seeing all this and saying, look, you're supposed to be one of my kids. Would you knock it off?
Well, I like how that you know what God says.
Be not conformed to this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Transformers, Hovind in disguise.
I just don't play video games, and I don't have a TV. Don't watch TV. Don't want to. I don't want to fill my head with that stuff.
Whoa.
Don't even have one.
Whoa.
2 Timothy, verse 3.
Verse Hovind.
I thank God, whom I serve from my forefathers with pure conscience, that without ceasing I have remembrance of thee in my prayers night and day. You know, if you don't have your head full of other stuff and your schedule full of other dumb stuff, you'll have time to remember people and pray for them. How much time do you spend praying for people and remembering them and thinking about them, writing them letters, encouraging them, giving a phone call? Greatly desiring to see thee, being mindful of thy tears. He said, Timothy, I remember watching you cry over lost souls. I
remember watching you cry over spilt milk.
My mind is full of good things about you, Timothy. What are you filling your mind with? Verse 5, when I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee.
I fill my mind with Family Guy quotes.
Which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois and thy mother.
Peter. Lois? Peter, hold a nice tea.
Mother Eunice, I'm persuaded in thee also. There's a whole lot in that verse. We could unpack it some other day. But I want to talk about, he said, I can remember you, Timothy. That faith that you've got to serve God, your grandma had it, and your mom had it. I think Christianity and serving God ought to be hereditary. Not getting saved isn't hereditary, but it ought to be something about mama served God, dad served God, the kids ought to serve God.
Why? How about let them make their own decisions?
Because they saw mom and dad and grandpa do it.
Oh, that's a good reason.
Now, if this is not the case with you, if you came from a mom that did not serve God, or a grandma that did not serve God, then break the chain right here, right now, today, and you start doing it. And you pass it on to your kids. Time to plant a new tree.
His over-exaggerated frowning cracks me up. Oh, friend.
Finally, brethren,
I'm so sad.
whatsoever things are true, honest, just, love.
Look at it pretending to fucking cry, dude. I'm so sad that children, they play video games, and it gives them brain damage, and it makes them catatonic, and it makes them get ADD, and autism, and it gives them AIDS, and it causes their teeth to fall out, and oh, it's just so bad. Hovind, please give me money.
Lovely, pure, lovely, good report. Think on these things. He said, wherefore I put thee in remembrance. Timothy, I'm telling you, I want you to remember. I want you to stir up.
Where do you think that finger has been? Think on that. Think on these things. Think about that. After this stream is over, I want you to think about that, okay? What are you putting in your head? What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about my videos? Are you thinking about all the times that you laughed at my videos? Are you think on these things? Think about my Ken Hovind impression. Think about me saying, Hovind!
Up this gift, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. Timothy, I ordained you to that ministry. I put my hands on you and said, Lord, bless this man.
I body slammed you and I said, Lord, bless this jelly donut. It's going to be delicious.
He runs this ministry. I did that, Timothy. I want you to remember that.
I want you to remember that, Timothy, because you owe me and I want you to give me money. I need money. Make the check out to CSE. Okay? Give me money. I want money. I don't want to pay taxes. Hovind, taxes, tax fraud.
God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I'm concerned with Christians and Christian kids that don't have a sound mind. They don't have a pure heart. And I think we're causing it.
You are.
By letting them do this stuff.
Yeah, Kent. You fucked up.
Think on these things.
Think on these things. Hovind.
What are you putting into your head?
What are you putting into your head? Are you watching all of my videos? Are you liking and subscribing? What how much Atheist Junior content are you putting into your head? Think on these things. Think about my videos, okay? Think about my memes. Are you following me on Twitter? Are you seeing the memes I post? They're hilarious.
You know, I think the way the cake turns out kind of depends on the recipe, the stuff you put in, doesn't it?
No.
I don't know how to cook very much, but I'd be willing to bet if you're going to make ice cream and you include lemons and sauerkraut and onions and garlic, it's probably not going to taste too good. What are you putting into your recipe in your heart? I've been a Christian 50 years, and I've seen America go down a long ways in my 50 years. I taught school 15 years, and I
No, you fucking didn't, liar.
saw the decline in just moral standards of kids.
Well, whose fault was that? If you were their teacher, why didn't you stop it?
What is happening? Noah had to see what's going around him and say, Lord, what do I do? Well, son, you keep preaching. You keep building that boat. But keep preaching. And you know how many listened? Nobody listened to Noah.
Oh, let me guess, Kent. You're Noah.
His family. And even one of them turned out bad.
My wife turned out bad.
Would you spend some time today and examine your heart? I want you to get alone with God someplace and say, God, are you happy? God, are you happy with what I look at? Are you happy with what I think about? Are you happy, Lord? And you and God work that out. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for letting us be part of your family. Lord, would you please move in America?
You're welcome.
Lord, send revival, Father.
Make America watch Atheist Junior and subscribe, Lord.
We've got termites on the inside eating us out here, Lord.
Wait, we have what? We have termites on the inside eating us out? What? And Kent says that I talk pornographic. No.
Eating the hearts and minds of Christian kids. And
we have termites. They're eating out Christian kids. Our kids are being eaten out.
Christians, Lord, please help us to stop it. Help us to call in the pesticide company and kill this stuff and get it out of our life in Jesus.
Help us to call the pesticide company because, help us to call in the pesticide because these termites, they're eating out our kids. So help us call in the pesticide company so they can kill these kids so they won't get eaten out.
In Jesus' name, amen.
In Atheist Junior's name, amen. And subscribe.
Thank you for joining us. See you Monday night.
Wow, did you see how fast he... Sorry. I'm going to do this. Turns off the crocodile tears like that. Like, ooh, that's a satisfying snap. Like that. Did you see that? Making this big production of... Think on these things. Often. Then he immediately turns it off. He is so fucking fake and people fall for it, dude. he the dude has not shed a single tear in this video. His eyes, I mean, he can make himself tear up, but it's totally fake. And I just spit on my camera. That's how passionate I am, because Kent makes me fucking angry. But do you have a pure heart? What's in your heart? What are you putting in your head? Are you watching Atheist Junior videos? Are you liking and subscribing? I know that you've gone to patreon.com/atheistjunior and pledged at least $1 per month, because that's why you're able to see this video. But what about my shorts? Are you watching my short videos? Are you liking those? Uh, Again, are you looking at my Twitter page? I posted a meme I made, a Photoshop I made of Aaron Ra on there that got 150 likes, and then Aaron Ra posted the meme on his Facebook and it got 530 likes. But if you haven't seen the meme, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to go to twitter.com/atheistjunior, atheistjr. Sorry, Hovind. What are you putting in your head? Think on these things, okay? Uh, are you sharing the videos? Are you making other people put my videos in their head? Are you forcing people to watch Atheist Junior's videos? Are you thinking about the jokes I made? Are you thinking about my stupid voices? Okay, I'm done. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the Patreon exclusive video for the month. I know that it was kind of uh, informal and sort of messy. I do apologize. I'm a little groggy right now because, like I said, my medicine makes me a little bit drowsy. So I hope that it wasn't distracting. I will say this: if you like the videos, as in if you enjoyed the videos, if you enjoyed this videos, please leave a comment telling me what it is that you liked about the video. I always love getting feedback. The more, the better, because it lets me know what's working. It lets me know what I should continue doing. It lets me know what's hitting or what's not. And there's nothing that makes my day more than when I see a comment saying that something I said made somebody laugh. It makes, it's my favorite thing in the world. Honestly, like, I love seeing the support from you guys. Obviously, I get really excited when I see I've got a new patron. Obviously, that's awesome. That goes without saying. There's so many awesome things about the opportunity I have to be a YouTuber. It's the best fucking job in the world. It's literally my dream come true. And you guys made that possible. But honestly, for me, the thing I love more than anything else is seeing that I was able to make somebody laugh. I just love that. And I know I'm being long-winded, but I'm almost done. I just wanted to say really quickly that I got a comment on one of my recent live streams that somebody was saying, oh, I had a really long, shitty, depressing day at work, but at least I finally caught an Atheist Junior live stream while it's live. Uh, and that really made my day. Like, I've gotten some comments like that, like, oh, I had a shitty day today, but watching this video, made me, I don't know, feel better or helped me take my mind off things. I'm paraphrasing, but um, I've heard from multiple people that they put my streams on when they're at work and they listen to them and it helps pass the time and they laugh. I love getting feedback from you guys. If you have constructive criticism to give me, you know, uh, go ahead. the more feedback, the better. Okay, I'm gonna shut the hell up now. You don't have to like this video because it's, you know, I'm not uploading this to YouTube unless you guys want me to. I don't know, but just keep doing what you're doing. If you want to do me a favor, I want every person who watches this video to leave a comment saying something that you liked about the video. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Thanks for watching.